I wanted to share this video on this channel and speak briefly on this story because I keep seeing it online. It was on my Instagram. It was an uncle that was arrested. It wasn't a stranger, wasn't a neighbor. It was her blood family. Arrested for unaliving his niece over inherited family house. And many people are starting to believe, her mother was also involved. Like I said, I saw the video. Very disturbing, news story. And, this story is a horrifying reminder of what happens when the love of money, the lust for inheritance, it overshadows the love of family, the sanctity of life, and the fear of God. When I hear stories like this, I say to myself, what exactly, what did the uncle truly believe he was going to gain from doing this? Did he think the law was just going to look away and, just let him walk into his new house? Removing this young woman, it got you absolutely nothing, sir. Greed in scripture is identified as a fundamental corruption of the human heart. It's a direct idol that replaces God. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Now, notice it doesn't say money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money. It's the idolatrous craving, the belief that security, worth, and happiness, they are found in possessions rather than in God. The uncle, if driven by this type of love, didn't just harm his niece. He basically severed his own relationship with God. This was basically like spiritual suicide for him. This man, he didn't inherit a home. He inherited a prison of his own making. And that young woman in the video, she didn't deserve what happened to her. Every time I hear stories like this, people harming another for whatever reason, money or over a man or over a woman, what exactly are y'all looking to happen? What do you want to happen? All you end up getting is a jail cell. Let us not be those who trouble our own household for unjust gain. Let us not be deceived into thinking life is found in an abundance of possessions. Let us run from the idol of greed with all our might and cling instead to the one who offers an inheritance that cannot be stolen, corrupted, or lost. In the end, when we stand before God, no deed, no bank account, no house will matter. Only what we did with the love he freely gave us, and whether we extended that same love, even when it cost us something precious.